What's up with it? Hey guys, this is Megan Jeanette. You can call me Meg.
And this your boy Greg. What's happening?
And I really like tea.
I don't like cats.
And welcome back to Get It Together. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. We're the show that explores what it means to grow and work together in your relationships, finances, faith, and fun.
Relationships.
I don't know why I always have a list when I say the word relationship.
Relationships.
It's very embarrassing.
Relationships.
But it is what it is. So let's get into a self-care check. How are you doing?
For one, let me just say, I said I don't like cats, and I feel like I gotta elaborate. I don't like feet. I don't like the animal cat.
You don't like the animal?
The animal cat. You know I don't like cats.
You thought they meant...
You know how people have horrible minds.
Okay.
Some people have very.
I don't think they thought that.
I don't.
You made this very awkward.
No, I did not.
Yes,
I
you
said
did.
what I said.
Okay, how are you doing? How you feeling? Oh my God, that was a lot. Whoa. Goodness.
I'm feeling good. I have a lot of energy, so that's why I'm cool. I'm cool. I mean, some good stuff has been happening these past couple of days, and it's got me on 10. So I want to be modest and humble about it, but I'm not gonna do it because your boy got a role, and I just came back from Tennessee from doing this show that I just got done recording. I was down there for like 3 days.
Yeah.
Free
3
hotel.
to 4 days.
I gotta say, I think if I ever got discouraged into acting, I think the free hotels and the free food and the staff asking me whatever you want, Mr. Harris, you can get. I think that motivated me just a little bit more. So
Yes.
I gotta say, but I missed my wife while I was gone.
Okay. Obviously he's acting. It's fine. But no, seriously though, it's been really, really dope. It's just crazy that you're like gonna be on TV.
Yeah.
It's like this fast.
And this is a major network,
So,
and this is a
I'm
big
very
time
excited.
TV show.
And I'm proud of you.
Yeah, and a
Like,
lot of
you're
my
doing
classmates in my class, they were like, "Dog, you booked a TV show and you just started.
that. Yeah.
Like that's something to be proud." I was very like, "Oh, I booked a
Because
show."
what did you tell me whenever I was stressing out the other day? God favors us.
Yeah.
So yes,
We are heavily
you are
favored.
doing it.
We are heavily favored.
Yes. Yeah. So for me, I'm feeling good.
Okay.
I feel like during that time that you were gone, I had a huge Megan awakening where I had to like sit down and talk to myself. Okay, Megan, like what are your goals next? Because I feel like this whole time I've been very focused on what Greg has been doing.
That's true.
And you getting your acting career together and just really just trying to figure out life. But I just didn't know where I would go next. I didn't know what I actually wanted to do in life at that point in time. Because I mean, I've always been goal oriented. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get my degree and then I'll do this. And now I'm like, I've achieved all those goals, and now I'm 29 and I don't really know. I didn't really know what was next. So yeah, but now I do, and I feel good.
Let's take that number out though. And I'm not talking about you. Per se.
I'm fine with
Yeah. No.
I'm very
Per
ahead
se,
at
because
29.
I want to let people know that it doesn't matter what age you are, you can still accomplish. Who was it? I think it was Viola Davis, Taraji P. Henson. A lot of them didn't start in the acting career until they were like 32, 33, and they jumped into it. They did their thing. So the whole 29 thing, I don't do that no more.
Oh, well, I was saying for me,
No,
where
I know what
I'm
you're talking about. I'm just talking about like if I can relate it to something.
Okay.
That's what I would relate it to. I'm like, that 29 thing, girl,
Well,
you can
okay.
conquer the world by next year. You can conquer the world by next month. So let's not.
Okay, you took that a different way.
Oh my God.
Like that was my self-care check, but then he's like,
Oh my God. I was trying to motivate you. I ain't gonna motivate her again.
Okay.
I'll never do it again.
Don't look at Warren.
I'm not looking at one. I'm looking at the audience.
Okay.
See how it went
God.
all the way right here.
Yeah.
For
Okay, whatever. Thank you, babe, for trying to motivate me. I was just saying that I am very excited about where I'm at in life. I've accomplished a lot, and now I'm ready to get my creative journey.
Get your
And the
hands
fact
off
that I'm
me.
29, I'm here, I'm happy about it.
Get your hands off me.
All right. So let's get into our taboo talks.
Sweetest taboo.
I like the song. Keep singing.
No, I don't know the words.
Y'all, Greg can sing, and he never like likes to sing, but it's okay.
Oh gosh, we're not gonna get into that. Stop it.
All right, so I'm gonna ask you.
Okay.
So, what is the number one cause of divorce in America? Dun dun dun. Just got
The
real.
husband eats all the food.
I mean, actually, you were really close. It's lack of commitment.
I'm about to say I'm being funny. I'm being funny.
That's not what I thought you were gonna say. Because
what you thought I was gonna say?
I thought you were gonna say money problems.
Oh,
Like
I thought the
finances.
obvious thing was you're gonna probably bring up money problems. I was trying to be funny. Obviously, money problems is the number one.
No, it's not.
Well,
Lack
it's
of commitment is.
Lack of commitment. Okay. Well, money
But
problems is literally like what?
It's I mean, it's in there,
Yeah.
but yeah, definitely lack of commitment. But
Okay.
I mean, today we're gonna talk about money. You know, the little green monster, and just really honestly about money. I think that what's been interesting for us whenever we have, I guess, become married and stuff, that I think that I've learned a lot about you beyond what I feel like I already knew. So when we were dating and stuff, I knew your personality. I knew you were fun. I knew that you love God. I knew that we vibed really well. But I really didn't deeply know your money habits until we got married.
Right.
And I think vice versa.
Well,
like
because
for me.
I would say because of that, you know, when we were dating, we only saw each other 3 days, like 2.5 days of the week. And then when we moved in was during the pandemic. And then the next year I was in the academy, in the fire academy. So I was making more money. So there was never like a time where it was like, all right, this is something going on financially. It was always like okay, we might have a little financial problem, but next week it's fixed.
Yeah.
Like now that we're married and we're like on the same boat, you know, the job, 9 to 5 here, you working. Now it's like, okay, now I can see that here's a wrench right here. There's an anchor right here. There's a problem right here. So
Yeah, definitely.
So you're definitely right about that part.
Yeah, like we really didn't know each other that deeply to really understand like how we both think about money and like how we both think about finances, and if we really knew like how to budget personally and together. So I feel like this past year has been our great awakening when it's come to that, especially since we had to move out to this new place. So so that's what we're gonna talk about today. And it's going to be based on, I've been reading this book. It's called Know Yourself, Know Your Money, and it's by Rachel Cruz.
Okay.
And so it kind of like talks about really like the foundation of like where your money comes from. And it's important to understand how your partner actually understands money and the way that they grew up with thinking about it, because that really like shapes their whole worldview of how they spend money, how they save money, whether or not they're even, if they have an idea or even aware of like how you even like should steward over your money.
Okay.
So the book is called Know Yourself, Know Your Money. And she talks about like the 4 money classrooms. And really like with the money classrooms, it just gives a foundation for understanding like why you handle the money the way that you do. But these classrooms like don't define you though. So Greg and I kind of like peruse throughout the classrooms throughout the week, and we're going to share them with you.
Here and there.
And then we're going to talk about which one that he thinks that I grew up in and which one I think that he grew up in, and see if we're right, first of all. So, yeah. Okay.
Stressful.
Very stressful.
Stressful.
Yes, I know. Everyone's getting hot because
everybody's like,
nobody likes to talk about money.
That Key and Peele meme where everybody's looking at each other and just sweat going down.
Yeah, which is the worst thing. I hate that. That's why, like I say, like I don't like that speaking about money is just such a taboo thing to talk about.
Because it's like with this day and age, people, when it comes to money, you don't know what the next person is going to think about you. Like,
yeah.
Let's say you spend too much, then you're like, oh, they're not responsible, or oh, they got money, they can do their thing, or you're cheap, then they're like, oh, he must be going through hard times, or oh, he just really just doesn't feel like going out.
Yeah.
So you don't know the perception of what people think about you. That's the thing about money. It's always what the other person's thinking. So I guess even with our situations and our problems, it was always like I'm embarrassed because what does my wife think about me when I spend money and stuff like that?
Yeah. And then me, I'm like, oh my God, why is he spending money?
Yeah. No. Say it in that voice again. No. Say it in that voice again. Say it in that voice again.
I have have a very bad habit
Huh,
of just checking and seeing what Greg spends money on.
Say it in that voice
This is
again.
so embarrassing
Say,
because I'm growing.
but say it in that
Oh
voice.
my God, what is my husband's money?
That is literally how I think she's saying it.
Really?
Yes. Whenever like she'll call and it don't be like
I'm not doing this anymore. I'm getting better.
No,
Okay.
no. But it won't be like big, like small things. It won't be like, hey, why'd you spend like $4? All right, that's not a problem. I will literally go, okay, I'm about to go to the gym. Let me get myself a Gatorade. Let me get myself a protein bar. And look, I get that's stuff that you shouldn't be spending money on and all that. But I'm
We
still
can buy it in bulk at
But
Costco.
hold on, this is my story.
I'm sorry.
So I'll go to the store. I'll get a Gatorade or something. Like I literally just left the gym. I'll get a protein bar, whatever. This is before like we literally bought 2 bags of protein now. So now I don't have an excuse to get it. And I'll literally be driving. She's calling, so I'm thinking it's a regular. Hey babe, I was just thinking
so
about
bad.
you. I literally will pick up the phone and say, hey my darling sweetheart, who I love so much. How are you doing? What did you spend at Quick Trip for $12.15?
Oh my God.
What did you spend at Target? That was $17. I'm sitting there like,
This is really embarrassing.
I'm sitting there looking at the phone like, to death do us part. To death do us part.
I can't believe
Oh
you
my
just
God.
said that.
But I will to lower it back so y'all won't jump on my wife. In her defense, she does have to make that phone call about 6 times a week. She's like, okay, babe, you narred and went to Quick Trip 3 times this week. All right, babe, you've been to Target 3. Yeah. I have a problem of spending in increments.
Yes.
Yes.
Which is why it's so important to understand how your partner grew up in a household, how they handle money in their household, because it helps you understand really what they're thinking. So let's get into the classroom.
Let's do it.
All right. The
What did you
first
spend at
one.
Quick Trip?
Okay, so there's 4.
All right.
2 of them are stress, and then 2 of them are calm. So the first one is called anxious, emotionally stressed, and verbally closed.
Yeah.
And the second one is unstable, emotionally stressed, and verbally open. The third, and these are the calm ones. So it's unaware, emotionally calm, verbally closed. And then the fourth one is secure, emotionally calm, and verbally open. So we'll talk about the first one first. So the anxious, emotionally stressed, and verbally closed classroom. So this is start thinking about like how you grew up and what was money like as a child. Like what was your first idea of money when you think about this? So did you feel growing up like you felt anxious or like anxiety and tension around money? Was money never talked about in your household? You observe money habits between your parents versus like actually hear them discuss it. Mm-hmm. So it's like you just like you would see them and how they would act. Like say like your mom's at the register and she's like freaking out and trying to like tally up every single thing and be sure the bill's right. Mm-hmm. Versus like actually like hearing her say something to you or your parents about it, whoever raised you in that aspect. Or like you didn't feel the freedom to really ask questions about money growing up.
Right.
And so for like this classroom, really like a lot of challenges that people who grew up in this classroom face is that like talking about money is really hard for them. It's like pretty uncomfortable because they never really had to talk about it, but they knew it was a stressful thing because they saw how stressful it was. And then like it's like difficult for you to open up to like your spouse or family about any kind of talking about money. And then, or you have like a underlying fear around like the lack of money, mm-hmm. Or scared that like you're not gonna like have enough money like for retirement for it to live.
Right.
But yeah, so that's the first one. I don't think that you grew up in that classroom.
Okay.
Am I right or wrong?
No, you're right.
I'm right?
Yeah, I didn't grow up in that one.
Okay. Yeah.
So I say the second one.
Yes.
I don't think you grew up in that one either.
No. I didn't. I don't think I didn't grow up in that one.
You definitely didn't grow up. They were rich.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
but yeah, so that was
her dad works for the FBI.
Classroom. That first classroom, that is the anxious, emotionally stressed, and verbally closed.
Right.
So let's do classroom number 2.
All right, classroom number 2 is unstable, emotionally stressed, verbally open. Do you feel money was a source of conflict in your house growing up? Parents argued about money between themselves. Emotions in the house were charged and explosive. Heard the same money fights over and over. You often feel fearful, anxious, unloved because you often heard no from your parents in a short-tempered way when asked for things. Challenges for this quadrant. You anticipate that talking about money will always be emotionally charged. You expect painful conflict with your spouse, or if you're single, you expect money will always be a tough conflict in marriage. And if married, you feel less than confident about your ability to work as a team to solve the problem. Do you?
Okay, I think you grew up in this classroom.
Okay.
Am I right or wrong?
No,
I'm wrong?
you're wrong.
Dang.
But you know.
Okay, can I tell you why though?
But yeah, so I was about to say, I think I know why you would say this though. But go ahead.
Okay.
I want to hear why you think.
I guess like I thought you did, because I mean like you've like shared stories about, like you remember your parents like being like talking a lot about it, like and being like having like disagreements or disputes about money growing up. So I guess I thought that when it said like money was like a source of conflict in your house growing up, or like parents or like emotions in the house were charged and explosive, I felt like that was your classroom, because I feel like sometimes with me I think that you get very like tense whenever I bring it up, and I thought it was because of like how you grew up that you figured to be charged already.
So I say this in a way to say it like this. My parents didn't argue about money. It was so the problem I have, my dad has. Has had. He doesn't do it no more. Like we just go to. This is where I get that
like
from.
Spend money on little things.
Literally, he
would
was literally like, "Oh, it's lunch break. Let me go get like 5 things from the corner store. Oh, it's lunch break. Let me go to eat here." But that's the thing that I grew up with, and my mom wasn't so much tripped over that because I think I have more of a problem than he did. He would do this like maybe a few times. I do this like 3-4 times a week, which now I'm kind of like getting better at. Stop breaking stuff. Over here knocking the mics. But no, like when it came to it, but the reason why I didn't, and I can tell you why I wasn't like this. Why you think I wasn't like this? Because I have 2 family members in my family that were close to us that we didn't have to worry too much about certain things.
Because your grandma and your
grandma, my aunt. It's literally like, and not because they were like rich or they had money, but my grandma, we were so close to my grandmother and my aunt, and we were over their house all the time. Food was there.
Yeah.
I didn't have to worry about like school clothes. Like my mom did. All my mom had to do was say, "Hey, mama, can you go get Gregory some school clothes?" My grandma never asked her for a dime back. Because it's like, oh, this is my grandbaby. I can go do this. And this is for all of us.
Yeah.
My sisters, my nephews. We didn't have to worry about anything. When my mom and dad were like, I don't have it at the moment. Because it wasn't like we were just broke my whole life. We struggled. But once I got a little older, my parents changed careers and they had better jobs. We bought a house. They bought better cars. These things. But when they did fall short, my aunt and my grandma were literally like 5 seconds behind them, like, we got them. Cool. So yeah, that's why I could see why you thought number 2 was me.
I know, and no, but that brings a good point, because that's like the caveat, because it's how you look at the classroom that you grew up in based on your childhood, like who you saw handle money, and it doesn't always have to be your parents, because if you're raised by somebody else, or you're like you grew up around your grandma, or your aunt, then that's where you got your example from mostly. So okay, yeah.
Because for some reason I thought my grandma was the richest person in the world. I don't know where I don't know where this money would pop up from. I'm talking about like I needed like something for school. It was like I needed something huge. I think it was like $500. And
what did you need?
No, because my parents were big on the PTO thing, and it was like the whole set this up, set that
PTO
up.
PTO's a scam.
I for real, because when we had kids, I'm gonna tell them. I'm gonna tell them we bringing home no.
President of the PTO, so let me stop.
I don't know if it was $500. I don't know how much it was.
PTO, parent PT, is that what
parent
it's called? Teacher something. We really don't have kids.
I don't care. I'm about to say shit.
Warren's like,
excuse my language.
Warren's our producer, guys. Y'all know. But yeah, he's like real throwing.
I'm about to say I don't even care. So it don't even matter. But PTA.
Thank you.
You would have thought I would have knew, because my parents were like hardcore involved. So I'm sitting there like, how do I not know?
PTA, parent teacher, what? Association. Okay. Yeah.
PTO.
I know, that's
PTO.
That's what I was saying.
No, but I don't know what it was. My grandmother just came out of nowhere and said, it's handled. I was like, what? She's like, it's handled.
Yes,
I was like, wow.
Love her.
Where'd you get that money from? But yeah, so I can see why you thought 2 was me.
Okay. So then let's move on because I was wrong.
You're definitely not 2.
Yeah, no.
I can answer that for you.
Oh yeah, no, wasn't number 2.
Okay.
And so the next one. So these are the calm classrooms. So when we say calm, we think about like the emotions around the topic of money. Mm-hmm. So number 3 is unaware, emotionally calm, verbally closed. So this is you didn't worry about money or think about money at all growing up. Ignorance is bliss for the people in this category. So it felt like life was good and everything was fine. Maybe your family was like really well off and didn't really talk about money in front of the kids, or maybe your parents were actually really like struggling and they didn't really want the kids like worry about it. So you never really heard them talk about it in front of you. And or so really like either way, you really don't know like how money works because it was never really verbally discussed.
Yeah,
and
number 3 is very interesting.
Yeah,
because it has like maybe 2 or 3 sides to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. And then and really like with this classroom, like the parents that you had, like they really had like a motivation to really like protect their kids, which is why a lot of times they felt like being like verbally like close about it was the best way to be.
Okay.
But yeah, so then like the challenges for people that if like you feel like, okay, that sounds like that's me, that you normally deal with is that when you grew up in this classroom, you kind of like don't really know where to begin to really like look at money, like understand it or get the whole picture of money. Or like sometimes you might feel betrayed because you weren't taught how to do things like budget or like to invest or to try to stay out of debt. Or you like may like have found out that your parents didn't really handle their finances well when you thought that everything was like a breeze growing up, and then you get older and you ask them, they're just like, oh no, like we have like no way to take care of ourselves and you got to do all this and that. So yeah, that is unaware, emotionally calm, verbally closed.
I think that's you.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay, why? Why'd you think that was me?
Because I remember the discussions you had, like you would randomly like, well, we're not random. We would be on the discussion of money, but I remember you would kind of be like, I wish my parents didn't make it seem like everything was great. Like of course, everything was fine, but I wish they would probably be more like, hey, when you get out in the world, this is gonna happen. I remember you would have these talks with me, be like, yeah, my parents made it seem like life was great. I mean, yeah, we were good kids. We were very taken care of. Our parents had money, all this and that. But once we became adults, it was like, wait, there's struggle.
Facts. Yeah, you're right. Like I definitely feel I was, specifically the unaware part, because I mean, it's the feeling betrayed that you weren't really taught about money. I went through a phase of feeling that. I would say probably I'm just really getting over that like past 2 years, because I feel like I've learned so much about how to budget, how to invest, and do different things. And then for me, like I ended up going to undergrad for free. So that wasn't like a thing of having debt. But then like going into like grad school, like I did for my doctorate degree, and now like looking back on it, I wish I would have done things differently. Okay. But in the background, my parents, like they like you said, like we never had to want for anything. It was like if we wanted something, we like got it. I always tell them do really well. They paid off their cars, paid off their house early. Like they did all the things that you're like supposed to. They have investments and stuff, but they never talked to us about anything. Right. And so I mentioned that to my dad, and I said, why didn't you guys ever really like say anything about, hey, like this is what we're doing with our finances? I wouldn't say anything, but his response was just like, well, I don't know. I guess I should have just, not pay a light bill sometime just to make y'all stress out a little bit. And I was like, what? That's the weirdest thing to say to your daughter. You're just going to not pay the light bill.
You see this?
Because you want
This going to be you. Like, you going to pay attention.
It was so, I just looked at him like, no, but now I feel like I'm behind because I feel like I should know this and you could have told me what y'all did.
Oh my
God,
that's funny.
But you just didn't. But I mean, I think the big thing I had learned with this is that I'm not gonna hold my parents like hostage and be like, oh my goodness, because this honestly at the end of the day, like we're not parents yet, but just being adult children now, I understand that our parents really have like done the best they could do. Like they really just trying to do the best that they can do, and if they felt like whenever they grew up in a household where like the conversation about money was charged. They felt the need to protect us and like not really talk about it, but have everything be great, well and good on their side of it. Then okay, then that's fine. You know,
Okay.
they're not. And then too, a lot of times with this, you may have siblings, and the way that I pictured what classroom I feel like I grew up in might be different from what my older sister, my little brother think,
That
because
is true.
everyone has a different perspective. Because depending on like what age she is, or like if you have a much older sister or brother, then during that time period, like your parents or whoever raised you could have been, I mean, struggling at that point in time and like trying to like get out of debt. And so you see like it's a very emotionally charged thing. And then you come and you're born and you're younger, and now they're at the point that now they're cruising because they finally figured it out. So it's like, don't be alarmed if like you talk to your parents or siblings about this and they're just like, I don't agree with what you say. Like that's how you grew up, because it's your perspective at the end of the day.
That's true.
But
So what do you think about me?
I mean, I'm stumped now. I'm guessing this is your classroom too.
So the reason I this is a very tricky situation for me because I am half of 2 and 3. That's why I said 2 I can't agree with.
Yeah.
But it was some parts and I was like it hit like right on the nose. But then 3 was like definitely majority of 3 was everything. But there are some parts in 2 that I can say was me, because being that my growing up, you know, we weren't the wealthiest people in the world. But my mom and dad, like my mom literally like would make, you know, like mamas do. My mom hungry. All right. And you come out of nowhere and there's literally a full course meal on the table. You think life is great. In this little bitty apartment, Ashley Parks in Houston, Texas, on the side of Reliance Stadium, where it's not even Ashley Parks no more. That small little apartment, you thinking like, oh, mama making magic. We live in a mansion. Then mama was struggling. You know, daddy was out there working security job, working at Target, you know, working for a construction site just to make that money come in. And it just, you know, it was just the crazy part that me and my sister's school was right around the corner from my grandma and aunt house. So whenever we got out of school, there's literally like for real food sitting on the table. And then when we hit like 9, 10 years old, mom and dad said, hey, we got new jobs. We got a house. So I would hear the money struggles and the money talks and be like, you know, why did you spend this? Or, you know, we need to pay this off. We need to pay that off. But those talks would be like, boom. And then my mom, I'd be like, why are you and dad fighting? No reason. Nothing wrong. Everything's fine.
Oh, so they wouldn't like really tell
you? They wouldn't
you?
tell me. Yeah, it wouldn't be like.
But did you know that it was like fights about
I
money?
would hear about it, but then but you gotta think about it, after a while, like years go by, I don't hear it no more.
Yeah.
Because now I'm a little older. Like now stuff is just like, all right, cool. I just know food's gonna hop up in the fridge. You know, I know things are gonna be like this. You know, at that young age, I was more aware, like, you know, oh, I'm not gonna trip if there's not food in the cupboard. I'm not gonna trip if there's not food in the fridge. Once them paychecks start going in with my parents, and you know, I'm playing ball, I'm becoming older. Once I hit like 15, 16, I'm food in the fridge. I'm cool. I don't gotta worry about them talking about struggling and stuff like. Cause my mom, dad gonna say that she struggled a lot as a child. But my dad, he struggled a lot because there was a lot of them in the house. There was a lot of my aunts and uncles. And that money talk wasn't a big thing in that house. They did not talk about money.
Yeah.
They didn't. My mom, she talked about money a little bit here and there because my grandma knows how to save money. My grandmother's credit was pretty good. So these talks weren't really big with me. So the whole thing was, the only talk I actually my parents really had that was real like heart setting was, do not take out a lot of student loans. That's like when I got into college, my mom was like, you gonna take out one loan, and if it just don't work out, you gotta come home. Because she actually had known about the whole student loan thing.
Yeah, they knew you were gonna marry a doctor, so
yeah, they read the future.
So you couldn't have any.
And that was another thing. My parents actually had really high expectations for me too. My sisters, being that my sisters were basically science experiments, I'll say it. I don't care. I don't care if you watched it. They were science experiments. I don't care. I'm the prize.
What does that mean?
I'm the prize. I'm the favorite. I'm the baby. So
I hope they see this.
So I don't care. I don't care if they do. Shit, chop this video up and put it on our Instagram story. I hope they see this. But
no, your sisters will wring your neck.
Yeah, whatever.
Keep
Anyways,
going. I'm sorry.
So no, you're good. So I was about to put this to the side. So the whole thing with them was my mom and dad were like, look, you know, you grew up, we raised you right. You're going to go to college. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. When I got to college, it was like, no, this didn't work out.
Yeah.
So when it came to the whole coming home, living with parents, you know, as a, you know, young adult, 21, 22, 23, now I'm like, hey, I need money. Why? Why do you need money? You know, blah. I'm a young adult going to class and working on 9 to 5. Why do you need money now? It wasn't a thing of my parents saying we need money because we're struggling, but it also wasn't a thing of we need money to teach you a lesson. I didn't know where it was coming from. I just thought like they're being mean. They're just trying to teach me like, oh yeah, give me money now that you live with us. You a big grown like that. You ever want to listen to like a Chris Tucker a stand up comedy about how his parents would put like military pamphlets on his bed? In a way, my parents were trying to teach me a lesson, but they weren't verbally saying what's going on.
Yeah.
They weren't saying save your money, son. This is what's going to happen when you buy an apartment. You have to give rent. You have to do this.
Yeah.
They weren't saying those things. It was just more like, hey, you live here. You 22, 23, give me some money. You know, but it wasn't like that. So let me be, you know, I hope they don't see this.
Yeah.
It could be like, wow.
No, I'm sending it to him.
Don't come home for Christmas, big dog.
Wow. Yeah. But no, I mean, that's real though, because I feel like that is a lot, that is common in a lot of households where it's just, and that's why I really just like want to change. I mean, I feel like the conversation about money, it should be like taught, like age appropriate when you start young. Like, here's a piggy bank for my child. Save this and then put this here. And then like, I just think that those lessons are important for life, because you don't want to become like our age and then now here we are married trying to like struggle to figure it out, which is fine. I mean, it's our journey, you know, we're like figuring it out together, but it's still like, I think that a lot of times it could have been we wouldn't have as much growing pains if the foundation could have been a little bit different.
And that's the thing. I feel like at our age, everything's not perfect, but the blueprint is great. Like, okay, there's way more time to turn it around. This is a perfect time to start paying things off. This is a perfect time to start putting money to the side. This age right now is actually the perfect time. If you do it early, that's even way better. Yeah. But I feel like at this age, when I'm talking about my parents, I feel like at this age, like 29, because my parents, I think they met when they were like 29, 30. This was the age they still didn't really know. Yeah, like my dad, which is most people our age still don't know. So it's not their fault. Yeah, I don't blame my mom and dad for not having that, because nobody taught them like that. Yeah, you know, money wasn't really just taught. Like my dad's dad, my grandpa my dad would tell him, he's just like, save money. You know, make sure you have money to treat your lady. Make sure you have money to put gas in your tank. Yeah, stuff like that. My grandpa didn't even know about money, stuff like that, like retirement funds and benefits and having an emergency fund. Like, what if the car breaks down? Like, if the car breaks down, whatever your check can come out next week.
Or they'll be like, oh, let's use a credit card.
Yeah, it's just a credit card. It was the credit card
effect. Like swimming in credit card debt.
Exactly. Yeah. So,
but we need to finish. We need to get to the last one.
It was getting deep.
I know it was. But the last one. So this classroom is. Oh, sorry, my bad. I just love to talk. This is yours.
No. Don't say you love to talk. What do you love to talk about?
Money.
Exactly. They're gonna be watching this on YouTube. Be like, Greg, red flag.
I'm the nerd.
All she does is talk about money. Greg, red flag.
When it comes to things like finance.
I hope. Why you over there laughing?
Because he can tell.
All right, guys. Number 4 is secure, emotionally calm, verbally open. This is what everybody should try. I guess should strive to be.
Yeah, that's good when you say it.
So do you feel your parents talked about money often and openly? You possibly saw your parents doing budget date nights or weekly money meetings. You observed calm and intentional conversations about finances. You felt calm, secure, and aware of money. You knew your parents were on the same page. Your parents didn't need to have a lot of money to be a part of this classroom, but they knew how much they had in management. Oh, okay, that was together. A typo. I ain't like that. Yeah. They had in management together. Challenges for this quadrant. You may underestimate what it takes to create this classroom. You probably didn't see the sacrifices your parents made in order to get this place. You probably don't realize the pain and discipline it took for your parents. Why are you laughing at me? Because the way I'm reading?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Because you're talking about my mistakes.
Oh. You probably don't realize the pain and discipline it took for your parents to say no to what they really wanted in order to raise you in this quadrant. I'm here like, why is she laughing? I'm like, over here. And the money and
Like
sacrifices.
that little
your
kid that you
pain.
never wanted to stand up in class and read because it was gonna take forever.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry. Okay, I definitely.
Oh no
was,
no no no
Oh
no
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 no!
no
I
no! I
wasn't
know.
saying it was you. I know
Oh,
you.
no,
I know
no.
you read well. Your mother wouldn't have let you do that. But I definitely was a kid that would be like, "Oh my gosh, let me read it for you," and get in trouble with the teacher. So I was that child. I was about to finish
quick
it for
30-second story. I actually got up and read and stumbled over a word, and this girl was like, "Oh my god!" And I literally yelled out in the class, "Hey miss, shut up!" And my teacher was like, "Mr. Harris," I said, "I'm sorry, she needs to shut up." How dare
I
you?
apologize. But yeah.
Jaleesa. I say her name out. I don't care.
Oh,
I still don't like you to
Jaleesa
this
is
day.
such a common name, so nobody knows. who
I'll
that
fight
is.
her.
Yeah.
I'll fight her to this day.
You have a wife now. I'll fight her.
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
jump it. I'll throw a kick in there here and there.
Stop.
Oh my god.
Oh my
Shut
gosh.
up.
But okay, yeah. So the secure, emotionally calm, verbally open classroom. So honestly, I think the challenge is going to be like for us is really figuring out how we are going to raise our kids in an environment where they can grow up in a classroom like this, where they
Right.
can see us having discussions about money, and not their mom freaking out in the car because dad went to racetrack to spend $20 on something that we could have got from Costco at wholesale at a cheaper price. But yeah, so they need to see us like actually, they need to see us actually talking about things and be like, this is like
I'ma
our
just shut
weekly
up.
budget. And our monthly budget, and we're on top of this and like, okay, and like explain to them like this is like what you should do whenever you start young and how your money can grow as time goes on.
Yeah, and I want to say as like a man, you know, because you got to throw it in this light in this day and age. You got to say as a man, but as a man in this day and age, we do get upset when we feel like our money and our wallet and our pockets are managed, and that's one thing I did struggle with coming into this relationship. Well, this marriage, I would say.
Yeah.
Because you would just try to talk to me about it. I'm getting mad, like, why are you in my pockets? Why are you telling me how much to spend? Why are you giving me a fun money? Stuff like that.
Greg's fun money.
For Greg's fun money. I'm
Budget
sitting there like, why
line.
you giving me fun money? What do I look like? Like a lounge?
Macho.
Where did you spend that quick trip? That was $12.15. But no, but like men, we do have these mindsets, these egos, because we don't want our pockets to be managed and all this. And I know the Kevin Samuel man out there will probably be like, yeah, brother, you tell her. But what my thing that I'm trying to say is, when you're in a marriage, this is a partnership. This is not Batman and Robin. This is literally Batman and Batman. This is Superman and Superman. Y'all both working together. So if she's literally paying more attention to the money and you're not, because you're just like, I got money in my pocket, nobody's gonna tell me what to do with it. Your wife is trying to be conscious of your future. So that's one thing I had to kind of control. And you know, every time you try to talk to me about money, I'm like, ugh.
It's like your skin was.
Yeah, I know,
crawling.
like, don't touch me. I'm allergic. Like, I would sneeze and like, get away, go give me some tissue. But no, it was more of a, no, babe, I really, really, really want to make sure that you're not spending and you're not overspending. Because let me tell you, I hate to say it because you know I don't like saying it. I do not look at the bank account. There, I said it. Now, I said it. It's there. I don't look at the bank account. And now I'm starting to get better at looking at it because I'm one of those people that I will, well, bills on auto pay, and the bills are fine. My car note gonna come out. My rent gonna come out. My insurance gonna come out. Everything's gonna come out. My check is, my balance in there is like 1,300. I'm fine. Everything's fine. And then I look at the account like, oh, I'm negative 200. I wonder what happened.
Bro, you just gave me anxiety.
She
Oh
was
my
like,
gosh.
she was like, why are you over? I'm like, baby, it's just negative 20. It's fine. She's like, why are you in the negative? I mean, my bill's on auto pay.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
But that's the thing. She's there like, I'm looking at the account because I'm trying to make sure you don't go over. And I would get upset. I would get mad. Like, why are you watching my bank account? Why are you watching my wallet? Now I'm like, she's like, hey, did you look at the account? Yeah, babe, I looked at the account today. We look pretty good today. Oh, okay. Hey, I put some gas in my car, you know, blah, blah, blah. And this, fellas, this is not you asking your wife for permission. Hey, babe, I'm going to go get a Gatorade. That's just literally letting your wife know that you're verbally letting her know, look, I dipped into the account. I looked at the money. I want to go buy a Gatorade. You're not sitting there saying, Is it okay if I go buy a Gatorade?
Yeah.
Pretty please with a Telly on
But I
top?
will say that's why it's good to just build into the budget line. Like, here, this is what you're doing with your card, and
Right.
I don't need to see it anymore. So the way that we actually figured out that problem of me just freaking out about Greg spending money at racetrack and Quick
Go
Trip
ahead,
all the
say it.
time is that he has his own
Now
card.
say how you want to say it.
What are you talking about? That's what I want to say.
No. Greg's fun money, like you said earlier.
Yeah, I mean that's what I call on the budget line. Greg's fun money. You do whatever you want with this money over here, but everything else is allocated. So I don't want to see whatever you're doing.
It sounds so funny, man. Greg's fun money.
There's Meg's fun money on the budget line too. It's fine. Make it normal. Like, just make it normal, guys.
I never heard of that until I met my wife. So, but it actually, but in all actuality, that is an extremely great idea.
Yeah,
It
and
is,
like,
it
and
is.
now it's remedied me like trying to, I don't know, manage whatever you're doing when you just once you max out your fun money, that is your business.
Right.
Like, if you want to do that at the beginning of the month, cool. You do that. But I don't need to see it anymore because I don't want to keep having to call you talking about that. Because, yeah, I'd rather us talk about great things, having fun, like, you know, besides me just being like, oh, my God, Greg, why did you do this? So,
Dude, you gotta do it. You're not doing it like you do it in real life. Greg, why are you spending $12.15 at Quick? You gotta do. Put.
So why did you just spend $5.31?
And I be sitting there and
At Kroger, we got
swear.
groceries on Sunday.
And what happens? Look. And what happens after you do that? You go, hello, because I be sitting over there looking at the phone.
It's like dead silent. I'm
I
like,
be saying,
bro.
this Negro, where the marriage license at?
Oh my gosh. But yeah, so on that note, really, I would say to have this conversation with your
Please.
partner, have this conversation with your spouse or whoever like you're cohabitating with, because it is really good to truly get like an understanding and foundation of how they grew up and how they manage money,
Right.
so that you guys can be better and create a secure environment that you can discuss it, it's normal, and it's comfortable.
All right. And one thing you also should do is have these talks with your families. Like, have these talks with your parents. Like,
I like
still
that.
to this day, I have no idea where a lot of my tendencies came from, but I know that the tendencies of me going to spend random little bitty increments of money at like gas stations or Kroger or Publix, that comes from my dad. And you know, I've asked him probably one time, and he said, "No, I don't do it no more." So I don't know. But now that I'm more educated on it, my wife and me and her talked. We actually sit down, watch seminars, read books. Now I'm like, well, now I can actually go and say, "Dad, why did you do it? Why didn't you like?" Well, of course they didn't know about meal prepping back in the day. Like they did, but you know nobody was really doing it. Now these days we meal prep, so you know I'll give them that. But also, guys that don't have a lot of money, the insufficient funds is not okay.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Yes. But okay.
I'm the king of insufficient funds, and I take this crown off. I don't want that anymore.
Well, I'm very proud.
Especially when look, you think it's bad when she's like, "Why did you spend this?" But think of how bad it is when she says, "Babe, so one of the accounts is overdrawn. What happened?" I be scared. I ain't gonna lie. I don't get like, "Oh, why she talking?" I be like sitting there like.
And on that note, we'll leave you guys with the hump day treat of the day.
Okay.
Is really that honestly, like it's not really about how much you make or how little you make. It really comes up to how well do you do at stewarding over what you have and what you've been given. So I feel like in our society, in our world, there's this huge thing like, I need to make more, I need to make more, I need to make more. But that's not really the answer. The answer is that how are you able to actually budget, steward, and be a good steward over what you've been given? Because if you have bad money habits while you have little, then when you get a lot, you're still going to have the same bad money habits. It's not going to stay. So, yeah. And on that note, let's wrap up the show.
All right.
You can always find me at Dr. Megan Harris on IG.
And you can find me at Greg K. Harris Jr. on IG.
And be sure you're following at Get It Together on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube to stay connected with us. So until next time, Get it together.
Get it together.
Bye.
All right, now. I'm still trying to get better at that.
What?
Get